Back again for another deck profile video. This one was requested. Not too much changed, but a few new cards. So we're not gonna go in detail of every single card. If you want to get the bases, check out the other video. Plus, it has a combo tutorial of what you're supposed to do. Turn 3s and 4s to close out the game. But without further ado, let's get into this monster right here. And this and Fu is one of my favorite black decks to play right now. That everybody loves because it's not meta. And it's really strong. But the stronger your opponent's deck is, the stronger this deck is. That's why this deck is a monster and insane. But without further ado, let's get into it. This lets you play the field card from the deck. This deck has a lot of draw advantage, pressure, and defense. And I'll explain what I mean in a minute. And I retrofit it to get the most amount of resource gain without necessarily giving your opponent too much resource unless you killing them that turn. You'll understand what I mean, but this deck is based around a keyword skill called Servient, which your guys have, and you can give your opponent that keyword skill, which basically, it doesn't explain it here, but it gives 10k boost to whatever has the keyword skill Servient, but they can't switch to active mode during the charge step. Simple enough. Alright. This deck is built around serving, or one part of my draw engine is built around giving my opponent's battle card Servient and then just bottom decking to draw with Overlord, which is Overlording is basically bottom decking a Servient card to the owner's deck to the bottom and you draw a card. And that is the strength of this as well as the food deck, but we'll get back to that at another time because today we're talking about Cumber. Without further ado, I'm just going to give you the full list because I don't like y'all like to pop in and pop out, but this is like the general aspect of what I concocted. We're still playing the one of Unison. I still like this for when I have it. If I don't, I don't. At the same time, I don't want to clog with too many. But this is really good if you draw into it and just have the setup that I explained in the other video. Definitely pairs well with this Cumber, which is built for pressure. And also can get big because of the Unison. Same with this one. He basically searches out the basic early turn 1 and turn 2 cards, as well as turn 1, turn 2 plays to be respective. But not only does he search out my Unison and Cumber cards, it searches out extra less sands, which the other sands we running is Tag Team, Hostility, and the new card, Burdock. I'm just taking this as a one of. You can take 2 if you want to, and go to 57 cards. This is a 56 card list. I just like the one of because there's counters in the game, and I like to break it when they have a counter. I still can use this auto to negate the attack. Certain decks close out the game with counters, and that's why I like the dual utility for the situation. Also, it gets searches Tenacious Burdock, which is pretty good, which is one of your black floodgates. The deck is pretty much built around you can effectively play your game and tap out for the first 4 turns if you wanted to, because we have ample 0 energy defense in here that'll help you get through the turn. Like the support and power burst. And we have cards to push through your opponent's floodgates or your battle card floodgates, like the 17s, the Bupos, the Topos. Usually would like 4 of this, but 3 for the retrofit space for the other things, like for the mass populace. We put this back in. It's still a +1. There's also a new 1 drop card, but neither of them has deflect, but this one you can pressure with. That's the only difference. In traditionalist, this used to be like a 4 of, but we broke it in for to add this back in and the fool. But the 5 drops and fools in this deck is for one particular combo, but you can overwhelm this if you want. This is like the other card I was talking to the other Cumber player about, and he suggested I should run it. But you can use it regularly as overwhelm, just for removal and double strike. But it's pretty much for this combo, which you can get off turn 3. I explained that in the combo video if you go in second, just for the wombo combo. Which you gotta go back and watch the other video. But he plays a 4 or 5, and depending on the situation, whether I need a single strike crit or a double strike, we have the option to go here or here. And we just bumped up these, and it's pretty much the same as last time. This is like pretty much the standard Z deck for black. We don't run surmounting the Impossible anymore because of our Z extra card, which self-awakens us, and it can help one of your Cumbers stand back up, including your leader, and just close out the game. This is one of the main ways to close out the game. And we're running 2 because at first, if we don't succeed, try again. And by the second time you do it, they're dead. We just swapped in a Unison of Sparks just for like to recover my drop, so I can use Bardock again, or if I need to do a random overwhelm just for pushing for game. But that's pretty much the sum of it. The SS3 is just for a play extender, like I explained in the combo. But that is the Z deck pretty much. It's pretty what I had it last time. Also, side deck is most important. If you playing a Stally deck, just beat him at the resource game, and while putting on pressure. Got the Deborahs. We got, if you know the format, make it Kabora, one of the best side deck cards for the knowledgeable. I still like this just for those decks that play a lot of big bodies. Also, it's a free overwhelm that can do mass removal. And for the lower end removal, we got the Secret Identity. 100% better than Redita, I said it. And my special tech that I like to throw in any black deck that I'm going to turn 4 later on. And side petrifications just for other decks that have cheeky bombs and like Red Vegeta and such that you want to turn off their Cumbers. You let them go off first, and then you kill them on the crackback. But that deck likes to grind too, and this deck can grind with it. But that's all I have for this deck for my 56 card list. And welcome to the Legion. Hope we can get some more Cumber players topping events. But this is my breakdown and my framework. Use as you will. Catch you later. This is my secret rare because people like to say run a secret rare. This is just for a simple fact, like I said at the beginning. You want to be as aggressive as possible and can easily tap out for the first 4 turns. Just certain matchups you don't. Like the hyper aggressive, you just let them do their thing and then kill them on the crackback. But besides that, a lot of defensive tools we can play while we tapped out. But it only applies to certain decks like this, but not all of them. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Hope this has been informative, and I'll probably do the iCard of the other video, which I'm more in depth. Alright, later, and hope this helped.